so much. And as we experience rain and storms this spring, keep conservation and sustainability in mind. Purchasing a rain barrel from River Action allows you to reduce runoff, intercepting rain before it hits the ground, then polluting our sewers with harmful chemicals. Here to talk more about that impact is Kathy Wine, Executive Director of River Action. Kathy, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. This is a great topic for today. You know, it is the end of March, almost April. We know we've got rain pretty much every day in the forecast for the next week. But before we get to these guys here, these rain barrels, give us a little bit of background on River Action. You are actually one of the original co-founders of River Action.
That's right.
Back in the 80s. Talk a little bit about the mission and just the work you've been able to do over these years.
Well, we started with the idea that everyone needed better access to the river and a better watershed access. And so to do that, we did Ride the River, and we had 5,000 people show up at the first one, and we thought we're onto something. So we started River Action, Ride the River, and all of the activities that we do now. But with the idea that with a lot of collaborators we can do things that'll really improve the resilience of the Mississippi. So some of these things lead to that because we need to become good stewards.
Yes, and this is, you know, like you said, we can all be collaborators, and this is a very easy way to do that, to ease your way into conservation, so to speak. So rain barrels, that's our focus today. So how can a rain barrel make a difference? Kind of break it down for us.
You're going to be saving 60 gallons every time there's a half-inch rain. So that's one way, which is nice to conserve water and you know, save it yourself. But it also keeps it from getting into the storm sewers, keeps it from getting into streams that are going to have rising floodwaters and all of the stormwater issues this addresses. So that and the fact that you're keeping any residue or anything that might have come off the roof from getting into the storm sewer and into the river also.
Okay, so yeah, give us, I guess, a little example of how a homeowner, for example, would put a rain barrel to use. So you pick one of these up, like our friend Jake did just yesterday. And how does everything work? You attach like a hose to the bottom here with the spigot?
Yes, this is a spigot that your hose fits onto. You could put it all the way down here if you would put it on a deck or even raise it up on some bricks or whatever, and then drain it all the way down. It's just gravity that's going to provide that pressure, but there's plenty of it. You can put a hose on that. You can do on the side here where we have other spigots that you are going to use for overflow. Then they can have a soaker hose, which can take it to a little garden that doesn't get that much rain right under the roof or something.
Yeah, that's perfect. You can utilize all that water.
You're not going to have a muddy mess right here when it actually is full.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. So let's talk a little bit about some of the hard parts. So utilizing rain barrels, there can be, you know, just a few things to get used to. And one of them is draining them between storm events and making sure you're keeping up with that.
That's right. I always say that is the hardest part because right after you've had a rain, you're not thinking about watering.
Right.
And so, but you want to be ready for the next rain. As you say, we've got a period now where we have them all the time. So you can drain that again using the soaker hose and getting things to areas that are a little more dry.
That need it.
And, or just store it in containers and be ready for the next rain. The other thing about the aspect of it being such a heavy rain, let's say, and it fills up quickly, and this can be closed up on your downspout, and then your downspout works like it always did. This is when you're wanting to receive the water into the barrel.
Yeah, that's pretty easy and perfect. So is this just for like homeowners or residential areas, or can it be used?
No, I mean businesses can have them, organizations and schools. We just love taking them to a school. This is
it's a teaching moment.
This is one way that kids can see too how you can do a best practice and improve the environment at the same time.
Yeah, it gets them involved and excited about it and maybe inspired at an early age. One thing I think is really cool that I want to point out on the rain barrel is this mesh that's right here. So we hear this all the time. You know, if you have standing water over the summer months, we are worried about mosquitoes and mosquito problems, but that's what this is here for.
That's right.
Okay, so this kind of prevents them.
That's right. You can also put a drop of olive oil in it, and that will kind of keep, coat the top, and you won't have the mosquitoes either. But this suffices with.
Yeah, it does the trick, which is good to know, because I think that would just be one, like, I'm somebody who gets just eaten by mosquitoes all the time. So that would be one question that I would personally have.
Yeah.
So it's nice that that is there, and you've kind of cut that off before it becomes an issue. Anything else that we should know just about caring for the rain barrels? Like, do they need to be cleaned often or anything like that?
No, well, you might want to do that
Like
at
annually?
the end of the season.
Okay.
What I always think is important is to remember not to have it full of water when it starts to freeze, because the freezing,
It can expand.
Expansion and the contraction and all could crack the barrel. If you just turn it over and have it that way for the winter, or put it in the garage, have it. You can rinse it out, yes. But
Perfect. So
otherwise,
kind of an annual thing. And for anybody that's interested after watching this segment and wants to purchase a rain barrel, what can they expect cost-wise for that?
yeah, when our barrels come complete with everything in, all these parts, they're $110 for a smaller diverter than this, a little more like the 3-inch.
Okay.
And then this is the large one. Most homes today have the larger.
So it's just $5 more for the large one. And we have the QR code on the screen for folks that are watching. They can just scan it and pick up their rain barrel. And what I think is so great about it too is, like, you're not running a hose necessarily as much as you normally would be during those summer months when you're utilizing the water from your rain barrel. It is a cost-saving measure at the end of the day.
It is that. Yes, it is.
Very much
Besides all the things you're doing for the environment, you're saving money.
You are saving money, which
you're
is,
right.
we all love to hear that, don't we?
That's right.
River Action is located on East River Drive in Davenport. We have the address and the phone number on your screen if you want to give them a call. For more information, just visit riveraction.org. Kathy, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us
thank
today.
you.
Yes, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.